Okay, so this lesson is on autofilters. Autofilters allow you to explore your data by filtering and sorting. It makes that process really easy. So an example might be you have a customer list, which we'll take a look at, and you want to filter it down to just show male customers in Japan whose names start with C. You just want that subset of data. Now the first thing you got to do is real simple, right? Just select any cell in your table and then click under the filter button on the data tab. So once we do that, you'll notice that in your header row, you'll have little drop-down buttons that appear at the right of each cell within that header row. And that's what you'll be using to do your filtering and your sorting. So you'll see those in each header cell. Now one of the things that I want you to be careful of is that, and I'll unselect the filter button, is in some cases you might have, and you might not even know it, right, a column with no data in it, or a row with no data in it. Now if you're not careful, if you've only selected one cell in your table and then click that filter button, Excel might think that that table has ended, in between those blank columns or rows. So you'll see that the country field, the country column, it doesn't have that drop down, so Excel doesn't think that's part of the table. And you can see that it only is showing us a few customers because we have that blank row. Excel thinks that our table is much smaller than it actually is. So you want to be careful. You want to make sure, if you're just selecting one cell in the table, you just want to make sure that you don't have any hidden data and that it's representing everything. Okay, so as our first example, what we're going to do is we're going to go to city, and we just want to filter down for one city. So what we want to do in this drop down is click that select all checkbox. So that'll remove all of the options for us. And then we'll scroll down and we'll click Boston. So we only want to see customers in Boston. There we go. It's that easy. And just so you know, the cells that you've hidden, they're just hidden, right? They haven't been deleted or anything. To return to your original list, to clear that filter, just click that clear filter from city button and you'll get back all of your data. Now, as the next example, right, you can also sort. So we talked about filtering, that's hiding some of your data. Sorting is, you're not hiding anything, right? You're just sorting all the data that's available to you. In this case, we sorted by country, right? You can see it's now going from A to Z. Now what we want to do is actually filter down this list for the example we talked about earlier, where we're just looking for male customers in Japan. So we'll go to the gender drop-down, unselect female to just show the male customers. We'll go to the country column, select all to remove all of the country options, and then just click the checkbox for Japan. There we go. Just the male customers in Japan. And so what I want to show you something now is something pretty useful. A lot of times when I get requests for data, all I'm really doing is just filtering down my list, because folks may not want all of my data, right? And this is an example. Maybe my boss said, hey, I just want to see the customers, our male customers in Japan. So as opposed to sending him all my data, I may just filter down my list just for those male customers in Japan, send him an email and provide it to him, right? Again, he may not be interested in all that detail. I may just filter it down for him just to add some value, right? So he doesn't have to go in and sort the list or figure out how to narrow it down himself. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clear those filters. So we'll get back to all of our data. There's a couple other things that I want to show you here. One of the things that we can do is there's actually a text box. So we don't have to actually check something. We can type in a pattern that we want Excel to recognize. So say we just want name to start with A. We can type in A and then an asterisk. Basically what that says is give me anything that starts with A and has something after it, right? All of the names that start with A. And then another thing we can do, and we'll use the city as an example, we can use different kinds of text filters. So maybe we want to find out what are the cities that contain the letters TO, right? So we'll type in TO, and then it pulls down those for us. Tokyo, Toronto, Washington, all of those have TO in them. There's lots of different ways that you can filter down this data. So there's other things, right? If it begins with, ends with, It can look for things like that for us.